What does it say to you that you're actually buying the tickets that Kentucky fans are supposed to have?
Sorry about their luck.
Oh, the sympathy the Louisville fans have for this downtrodden Kentucky football program. Welcome to the Red and Blue Review. The fans have been lining up ready for this football season to start. I think we're ready too, guys.
Absolutely.
I know Louisville's ready. I'm not
Can't
so
wait.
sure. I'm not so sure about these guys.
We'll see.
Welcome to the show. Say hello to Daryl Bird of the Cat's Paws.
Louisville got to do the take on U of L, favored to win the Big East. But isn't that like saying Chevrolet makes the best Corvettes? You're the only one doing it, so obviously you're going to be. They're the only team in the Big East, so they better be favored.
Oh, boy.
And I think Howie's going to have a whole lot of fun this football season. Please say hello to Howie Lindsay.
I really like Joker Phillips' enthusiasm at the Governor's Cup luncheon where he said, they just add another team and we move one step down. Ouch. Don't admit that, Coach. Come on.
Well, it could have been two steps down. I mean, there's only so far before you hit the floor. Hey, we've got a lot of things we're going to talk about. We are going to get you ready for this coming football season, and it starts right here, right now, on the Lightning Round. The Lightning Round on the Red and Blue Review is brought to you by the Kentucky Office of Highway Safety, who is reminding you to click it or ticket. What's hot at the University of Kentucky is the defensive front. Now, I know that doesn't sound too sexy, but if you're going to compete in the SEC, you got to be good on the defensive side of the ball, right across from the ball. And Joker says this year Kentucky is good there.
Well, our front will be a good, solid front this year. Hopefully for a couple of years with those guys. But right now we've got strength, maturity, size, continuity with DT coming back as a coach, with the group coming back primarily intact. Now their understanding is better, their confidence is better, their strength conditioning is a year better under Rock. So all those pieces are falling into place. And ironically, of all years where our stand-up players or our young players, inexperienced players, it's good to have those cats up front that are pretty good. Because as a linebacker coach for 35 years, those linebackers are really about as good as those down linemen are in front of you. In our system where you're moving and shaking and baking and holding guys, jump throughs and scoops and, knocking guys off. If we play well at the front level, it's easier to coach the guys at the next level.
Yeah, Rick Minter, defensive coordinator, is absolutely right. It's going to be huge because the linebackers are young. Most of the offense, especially all the skill position players on offense, are all very, very young. So how nice is it going to be to actually be able to get off the bus with defensive tackles that everybody else in the SEC has? UK kind of cycles through. They're like the small high school that every 4 or 5 years they'll be pretty good. Every 4 or 5 years, UK really loads up and gets big, huge defensive linemen, and they finally have two guys, Mr. Cobble right out of Louisville, Dante Rump as well. These guys, if they can play well, they can help stop the run, buy some time for the linebackers, get the other teams off the field to give that young offense a chance to stay in the game.
Who's out at the University of Louisville is Teddy Bridgewater, now up to 222 pounds. And Teddy says bigger is definitely better.
Oh, yes, I can feel it a lot, with the way I throw the ball. I can throw with more velocity, more power, and throw the ball further, just things like that.
What'd you do in there in the offseason to get where you are now?
Just eating the right foods and conditioning, just maintaining, a healthy, masculine body, not letting it all turn into fat, so just eating the right food.
Wait a minute, is that how that's done?
Yeah, that's how it works.
Had no idea.
Hey, I gained over the summer, didn't you?
Oh, me too.
Absolutely.
Teddy Bridgewater gained 40 pounds since he got to Louisville. That is a lot of weight. He started about 185, now he's up to about 225, and he looks like a different player. The offense is absolutely raving about his ability now, his sturdiness now, and he took a beating in that NC State game, so he had reason to realize, hey, I've got to gain some weight quick.
Yeah, this is not Jared Lorenzen big. I mean,
No,
we're not
no,
talking
no.
about
Yeah.
anything close to that.
No, J-Lo was what, 300, three
Yeah,
bills?
yeah.
No, Teddy's like 225-ish, yeah.
Who's not hot at the University of Kentucky is Marcus Caffey, because the Kentucky Wildcats did suffer a big loss, not only before they played Louisville, but before camp even started. Marcus Caffey, he's the running back turned defensive back. He won't be back because he did not take care of business in the classroom.
Hardest thing about being a freshman is to get them to be sophomores. And we have an academic casualty, and Marcus Caffey. Is ineligible for the 2012 season. Our solution to this this matter will be Martavius Nellums. When you start thinking about moving a guy to line up at corner, Martavius is, because he's played there a couple years, he's probably the most athletic safety that we have.
This seems to happen every year and pretty much to every program as well. You lose one because they just don't take care of business. The good news, most of the time at Kentucky, you'll see a kid miss a year because of something like this. In a couple years from now, he's one of your senior leaders. They just have to. Joker always says, no, they don't grow up at the same rate. They don't grow up as fast as you would want them to. So he's going to have a hard lesson to learn. He's going to keep practicing, but he won't play. Makes it tough. Martavius Nellums was going to be the safety, the hard-hitting safety. He's got to go back to corner where he does have a lot of experience, so they won't miss a beat there. But it's a tough deal, and you just hope the kid grows from it and learns from the experience. And I know they're saying Nellums, but Joker was so high on this kid throughout the summer. Could not wait to see him at cornerback because he's big and he's strong and somebody they need back there to play in the league that they're in.
You know, Darryl, a lot of times what you'll hear people say is, well, with the CATS tutoring program, how do you possibly lose a kid to academics?
Yeah, you're right. And it's hard to do. You have to work at it.
Yeah,
you really do.
And it does fall back on the kid. I mean, you can give him all the resources, but eventually the kid has to grow up and he's got to do what he's got to do.
Eventually you do everything you can for a kid, and so they still have to make the ultimate decisions. You can't drag them there. And like I said, more times than not, we will see this pan out to where you'll look in 2 years and be like, wow, remember when he didn't take care of business? Now look at him, he's your leader. Mr. Cobble's an example. He's one of those right now.
What's not hot at the University of Louisville is that senior class. Only 9 guys in the senior class this year, which means the leadership will probably come out of that junior class. Kids like Preston Brown and Hakeem Smith.
But, just the other night sitting in that team meeting, looking across there and just those 9 guys. But you would think, because of the way we played our freshmen last season, where you end up playing like 12 of them, and now the juniors, a ton of them have played. So just the senior leadership, you're looking around the room, and it's not many at many positions. So you're hoping that the guys that have played, that they've played enough where they continue to grow, just that they mature and they grow up, and now the leadership can come not only from a senior, but from someone.
Yeah, Charlie Strong situates his team meetings by class. So the seniors are up front, and then the juniors, then the sophomores, and then the freshmen in the back. And these guys will get the reference. It looks like a Baptist church in there. Everybody's in the back. The back rows are completely packed. So essentially in that team meeting, it's like, all right, everybody move 3 rows forward so we can, pack the church a little better. But that's essentially what they have to do. They've only got 9 guys up there in the front. They are good 9 guys. I mean, you got, Will Stein and Mario Benavidez, Daniel Brown. You've got some good leaders there, but only 9 of them.
Yeah, that's pretty remarkable. Well, the buzz at the University of Kentucky is not the quarterback that you have now, but the one you may get in the future. It is Patrick Toll. He is really all the buzz because the present of the UK football situation may look a little shaky. The future looks promising with the kid from Kentucky, Patrick Toll.
Well, I want to make a decision at the quarterback position as fast as we possibly can. I wish we didn't have to. I wish the decision was already made. It's not. The reason why it's not because of the competition that we have there. And Patrick Toll figures in this. He figures in it a lot. He's a guy that we got to find out how much he can do. He's a guy that can make plays with his legs, with his arm. He's a smart guy. He threw 46 touchdowns last year and 1 interception. It's unbelievable. So we've got to find out how much he can do for us.
You notice in that clip, Joker hesitated. It's like the wheels are turning. How much do I say about Patrick Toll publicly? How much practice hasn't even started? Then you get to see him, and you all have been around this as long as I have. Some of you look at him, man, the dude just looks the part.
He does.
He's big, he's strong. He does not look like a kid that was in high school last year. And even after this first open practice at Fan Day, the question was brought up, and it was true that Morgan Newton looked the best.
He looks really good.
Yeah, Morgan Newton looked the best of everybody at the first practice. The question to Joker, Morgan looked pretty good, and he talked about Patrick Toll for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So he's there, and the kid is playing into it. It's interesting. The fan base is like half and half. Half of them say, redshirt him now, and UK will be really good for the next 4 years after this season. The other half are saying, put him out there right now. And if I'm Joker hot seat, I'm putting him out there right now if he can do it.
Well, based on that video you shot, I think if they play helmets and shoulder pads, Kentucky's got a chance of winning this thing.
Yeah, all right. That's a big kid.
He is a big kid.
Looking at those clips, he reminds me a lot of Chris Redmond. That body
does,
type,
yeah.
the
Yeah.
ability to spread it out to different receivers, and his accuracy. I mean, that's what Chris Redmond, that's the reason he's still a quarterback.
Yeah, and this is a kid who had J-Lo as a personal instructor, Chris Collinsworth, of all people, working on his footwork, and he has 3 state titles at Highlands. We haven't seen this kind of buzz over a quarterback since Tim Couch.
The thing I noticed in the video was his footwork.
Yeah.
Wow, that is, I mean,
He told me
he's well
before that
coached.
Chris Collinsworth would, if one little misstep, he was all over him about footwork. Said nothing else, it's all right here. This is where you throw it. This is the accuracy, and he's on him constantly.
Well, the buzz at the University of Louisville is coaches not only teaching football, but apparently teaching them how to shave, because when it comes to the freshmen and the youngsters on the field, linebackers, one of those spots in which you could have a lot of freshmen playing for big playing time, including All-American Keith Brown.
Well, what Keith was able to do, he's able to come in the spring, so he got a jump on the other freshmen because he's here in January. So he's been able to learn the defense, and that's why when he jumps out there. And Burgess also, those two they familiar with it, so they understand the calls and the check.
So they had 2 guys come in during the spring. You got Keith Brown and James Burgess, both those kids from Miami. Then they added another one this summer, another All-American this summer, and Nick Dawson. So those 3 guys, you might see all 3 of them play with special teams or linebacker or something like that, because usually you'll cycle in some linebackers. So I think you will see, that's about the only spot that I can think of where you're going to see a freshman. It's like that and punter. That's it.
When we come back on the Red and Blue Review, we'll tell you how the low expectations for this UK football team could be a positive. We do know this is a positive, Daryl. Your brand new football yearbook is out and ready to go.
Out and ready, appreciate it. 136 pages, everything you want to know about the upcoming football season. Long Q&A with Joker Phillips. A lengthy story on Patrick Toll's high school career. We were just talking about him. Lots of other stories and profiles of every single opponent. Newsstands everywhere, or you can just go to shopcatspaws.com.
Have you driven a Ford lately? Well, stop by Allstate Ford and test drive a new Edge or Explorer. Or visit us online at allstatetrucks.com. Allstate Ford on the Watterson at Poplar Level Road.
It's Chevy Truck Month, and now is the time to get your new truck. Bachman has more Chevy trucks than any other dealer, all at fantastic prices. You'll get every Chevy incentive plus exclusive Bachman discounts during Chevy Truck Month. Tremendous selection of Silverados and every dependable Chevy truck. Plus, you save more during Chevy Truck Month with exclusive Bachman discounts. All Chevrolets are created equal. Bachman makes the difference.
Here we go. One step at a time, don't be living on the line. I don't need a friend, I got more than on the mind. Sunshine in my brain, making everyone complain. Radio in the heart, don't be being so strange. Think I'm losing it, baby, where?
A lot of people don't realize how dangerous speeding can be. The lower limits you see posted in neighborhoods are there for a reason, so when the unexpected happens, you have time to stop. Because even 5 or 10 miles over the limit can mean the difference between a near miss and a hit. Stop speeding before it stops you.
Join the club at Sam Swope Auto Group. When you service a vehicle at any Sam Swope dealership, you automatically become a Service VIP Rewards member. You get member pricing on parts and service, lost key return, and emergency roadside assistance. Plus, you can earn points that qualify you for discounts on your next vehicle purchase, up to $2,500. The best part is becoming a member is free. Become a member today at any Sam Swope dealership. Nobody walks away because everybody saves.
Well, I mean, you kind of were surprised because we've been picked so low every year I've been here. But we've been working so hard, and Coach Strong is just such a great coach that I can see why they picked us that high.
Preston Brown talking about the difference this year between red and blue is really about expectations. You don't expect much out of Kentucky this year, to be honest, but Howie, it could be running the table for Louisville this year.
It could be. It could be. High expectations.
And that's our theme right now in our Game Time storyline. At the University of Kentucky, it would seem as though it'd be pretty simple to have a successful football season because the expectations are so low, there's practically nowhere to go but straight up.
Why are we excited? Because I get that a lot. Okay, that's usually y'all's first question is why? Why is there so much excitement? Well, I'm excited because of the leadership that we have on this football team. We have sat down and talked about who we thought were some of our leaders, and since January, that list has grown. It's doubled. There's a lot of leaders on this football team. Excited about the dedication that this football team has displayed. I'm excited about the hunger that this football team has shown.
I have been asked that question 1,000 times this summer. Well, what's the football team going to be like? And the honest answer I give them, I don't know. Outside of
Daryl, you're the Kentucky expert. Fake it.
Let me go here. Wide receiver LaRod King is a senior. Beyond that, every skill position player is a sophomore, redshirt freshman, or true freshman. So they could be pretty good. They could be really bad. You just don't. With young players, you don't have a clue. Now, you look at a Patrick Tolsey like, wow, he looks the part. You look at Dashawn Mobley, the true freshman, running back out of Tennessee. Oh, my goodness, he's 225 pounds. He looks like a man. The problem is you don't know how they respond in college, and you're in the SEC, and typically in the SEC, freshmen get hurt, dinged up, miss games. You start losing games you might have won, and your season looks worse than it might have been had you not been hurt. But you just don't know. Young kids may surprise you good, may surprise you bad.
And I think one thing about being so young, Daryl, that's going to hurt Kentucky's schedule, because if you look at it, if you bring in Louisville at number 27, which is what they were ranked in the preseason, then 6 of Kentucky's first 8 games are against teams ranked in the top 27. So that's a tough way for freshmen to get introduced to college football.
Absolutely. Yeah, you have no break, and that's what makes the Louisville game so important every single year, and especially again this year because you got a couple of non-conference, and then here comes Florida and South Carolina and the rest.
Expectations low for the Cats, very high for the Cards. As you know, they were picked to win the league, and Louisville coach Charlie Strong says he hopes the confidence the rest of the league has in the Cards will give them confidence in themselves.
Well, you like to believe that they will gain some confidence, but the thing we have to do is make sure we don't get complacent and get arrogant about it, because we really haven't done anything. But now that we've been picked, it's what it's all about. Now let's go carry ourselves like it.
This is the advantage of having a coach that's been at a championship program and having other coaches who have been at championship programs. Is they look at these guys at Louisville who are like, hey, we're picked to win the Big East, and they're like, shut your mouth. What are you talking about? I mean, you've been 7-6 the last 2 years. You lost in your bowl game. These guys have got championship rings on their fingers. They've seen the mountaintop with Florida. So from that standpoint, these players have to listen to them. They've got the rings to prove it.
Yeah. One of the things I find really interesting about this Louisville coaching staff, Howie, and I've been doing this a long time, hearing coaches, legendary coaches, poor mouth their own teams. The coaches at Louisville really are not backing away from that. Charlie will talk about how good this team is. Sean Watson is very bullish on this team. And Vance Bedford the same way. He talks about how good the defense could be.
Yeah, I think they're excited about how good this team could be.
Yeah.
At the same time, they're tempering expectations by saying, hey, we haven't done it yet. Don't celebrate like we've done anything yet.
Well, the expectations for this Kentucky team are low, and it seems like that's the storyline we talk about every year with Kentucky football. In fact, Morgan Newton has had this question tossed to him for 4 straight years now, and he says this whole idea behind nobody believes in us, we're going to believe in ourselves is a motivational ploy that is flat worn out.
Ever since I've been here, it's been a lot of, let's get over the hump, get over the hump. It's been... you guys have been this forever, and you're going to continue to be that, or you're going to, do something to make a difference. So, and every year we've come in, we've always been like, well, we're going to use this as motivation, to get better. Okay, that's fine.
I love that soundbite. It's basically, shut up and do it for work, for crying out loud. Stop saying that you're going to, and that's every program is like that. They come in, everybody's undefeated, and they think they're going to do it. We've got 110 years of Cubs fans history to know that you always are hoping for the best at the beginning of every year. But I do like the attitude of just quit talking and go do something about it.
One of the things I like about that bite that we got with Morgan, he's the same kid who last year I talked about this football team and the expectations, and he said, well, it's not my team. I'm not the guy making 7 figures. He passed it off to Joker. Here's the guy that sounds mature enough to say, it's on the players, let's go do it.
He has grown up so much, and it's pretty remarkable. Coaches will tell you, to talk to him, he's gone through the surgery, so that's humbling. And I talked to him in the spring about how that was going, and in training he said, I do what I can, but I'm a senior. This is a business. and there's also times for me to just get out of the way. And I was like, wow, that's pretty impressive to know I'm the old guy. It may be time for them to turn the page and go young. He's not giving up. He looked really good in that first practice, the only practice we get to watch, by the way. He's throwing the ball well. His strength is back, so I wouldn't write him out yet. But if it comes to that, he understands where he is.
One of Kentucky's quarterbacks was not surprised that the Cats were picked last in the SEC East. Louisville's quarterback was not surprised to be picked first in the Big East.
Oh, not at all. You know, with hard work and dedication to this program, the guys have put in, you know, we feel like we deserve it. So all we have to do now is just go out and get it.
I found this response interesting because he's, you know, essentially, I thought Louisville would be the favorite. I think that was pretty well established. But they got 24 out of 28 votes. I mean, that was overwhelming favorite. Everybody picked Louisville to win nearly. So I think when asking Teddy, I thought, you know, what do you think? And he's like, didn't surprise me a bit. Yeah. We have that kind of confidence in ourselves. Pretty impressive.
Well, last year, the Louisville Cardinals took the Governor's Cup away from the Cats. This year, they took their tickets away for the game. We'll talk about that when we come back. But first, Howie has all the inside information on Louisville football.
Absolutely. We've got the Louisville Football Preview Edition coming out here in just a little bit. And this will be mailed to folks who pay for it. You can also get it online. You check it out at cardinalsports.com, also louisvillesportsnews.com for your edition, the Louisville Football Preview Edition.
Have you driven a Ford lately? Well, stop by Allstate Ford and test drive a new Edge or Explorer. Or visit us online at allstatetrucks.com. Allstate Ford on the Watterson at Poplar Level Road.
It's Chevy Truck Month, and now is the time to get your new truck. Bachman has more Chevy trucks than any other dealer, all at fantastic prices. You'll get every Chevy incentive plus exclusive Bachman discounts during Chevy Truck Month. Tremendous selection of Silverados and every dependable Chevy truck. Plus, you save more during Chevy Truck Month with exclusive Bachman discount. All Chevrolets are created equal. Bachman makes the difference.
Bachman makes a difference. Here we go. One step at a time, don't be living on the line. I don't need a friend, I got more than on the mind. Sunshine in my brain, making everyone complain. Radio in the heart, don't be being so strange. Think I'm losing it, baby, where?
People don't realize how dangerous speeding can be. The lower limits you see posted in neighborhoods are there for a reason, so when the unexpected happens, you have time to stop. Because even 5 or 10 miles over the limit can mean the difference between a near miss and a hit. Stop speeding before it stops you.
Join the club at Sam Swope Auto Group. When you service a vehicle at any Sam Swope dealership, you automatically become a Service VIP Rewards member. You get member pricing on parts and service, lost key return, and emergency roadside assistance. Plus, you can earn points that qualify you for discounts on your next vehicle purchase, up to $2,500. The best part is becoming a member is free. Become a member today at any Sam Swope dealership. Nobody walks away because everybody saves.
Have you driven a Ford lately? Well, stop by Allstate Ford and test drive a new Explorer or F-150. Or visit us online at allstatetrucks.com. Allstate Ford on the Watterson at Poplar Level Road.
What needs fixing on the Red and Blue Review? Brought to you by Doug Jones Home Improvements.
Hey, Louisville's going to have even more home field advantage than they've ever had in this Governor's Cup game at Papa John's Cardinal Stadium because, as you know, Louisville fans bought up all of their tickets and a good portions of the ones that were set aside for Kentucky.
Hello.
Hi, I'd like to get 4, please.
Okay, 1 second. The lowest seats we have are going to be in section 5 in row Z.
Lined up on Wednesday morning to purchase the 2,000 Governor's Cup game tickets that UK returned unsold. Kentucky did sell about 3,000 of the $78 tickets. The rest of them went back to Louisville season ticket holders.
Hey, give me your analysis. Why are there so many Louisville people buying Kentucky football tickets?
Well, evidently Kentucky doesn't believe they got a shot at the game, I reckon, so they're going to give their tickets back. You know how fickle those UK fans are.
Why do you think they didn't buy the tickets?
I don't think they feel very good about their team, about their football program at all right now. So.
How do you feel about yours?
Oh, we're moving. Get on the train.
That get on the train thing really caught on. For Louisville fans, there's so much excitement around the program. I just don't feel the same for Kentucky. I think, put on your foil hats here, because I've got another theory in that I think UK returned these tickets so early, one, that they returned them at all, two, that they returned them so early to send a vote of no confidence in this head coach. Mm-hmm. I think that, when you're in HR, you try to build a case if you're going to fire somebody. I think they're going to come to the end of the season and say, listen, the fans just don't like this coach.
I think Joker is going to build his own case on the football field, win or loss, because I think if you look at this team and the daunting schedule they have, I don't know that Kentucky really needs to build a folder other than the one that he's already assembled with the disappointing run last year, the terrible offense that they put on the field last season. Daryl, give me your take. Why do you think Kentucky fans are not picking up these tickets?
They're mad. They're angry about the way last season went, and they're showing season ticket sales are down, which wasn't to be expected. How far down? That's marginal. Some of it you say, well, they're really angry, so they're not buying tickets. Mm-hmm. And you don't know how to factor in the economy and jobs and the fact that tickets get higher and higher and higher. And every time a ticket price goes up, there's another 100-inch big screen TV that comes out that you can watch it at home for a whole lot less. So you got all that factoring into it. But it was disappointing to return tickets. It's interesting, and I have to get to the bottom of it. Why is UK $78 and U of L can sell them for $50? I mean, that obviously would help the sales as well. But, Louisville's going to buy it out. There's no doubt.
Well, I think if Kentucky wants to sell more tickets, they can do that on September 2nd. If they open this season and they stun the number 27 team in America, all of a sudden UK season tickets are going to look a whole lot more attractive. And we'll follow it here on the Red and Blue Review.
I remember the moment.
I'll never forget that moment.
That moment?
It was a moment that changed my life. I'd been training with my team for months, and now we had been called up for the first time. The real deal. Wildfires were getting dangerously close to home. At that moment, I got my first taste of just how important the Guard is to my community.
See how the Guard can be an important part of your life at NationalGuard.com.